We've been in Abu Dhabi all week for Abu Dhabi Finance Week, but just down the road from the conference, big news out today between the Abu Dhabi Stock Exchange ADX and our home base NYSE. Now, earlier today in Abu Dhabi, KraneShares CEO Jonathan Krane rang the ADX opening bell to highlight a major milestone, the first ETFs ever to be dual listed on both the Abu Dhabi Securities Exchange and the New York Stock Exchange. It is an important step in connecting these two markets, giving investors in the region direct access to U.S. listed strategies. Jonathan joins us now from Abu Dhabi. Jonathan, congratulations on the bell this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. So first and foremost, from your perspective, why is this milestone so significant for both exchanges?
Yeah, this was a great day. We listed two funds here, KWEB and KRBN, and it was a cross-listing connecting the New York Stock Exchange with Abu Dhabi. The Abu Dhabi market has grown significantly, and with a lot of institutional and retail investors here. And it's really I think the ETF hub for the GCC. So by connecting New York and Abu Dhabi, it's the start of, we believe, more funds coming over also. And you know, we think it's a lot of it's a historical day.
And as you mentioned, you brought KWEB and KRBN to ADX for this launch. So for our viewers, can you give us an overview of your company and tell me what made the two funds the right fit for investors in the region?
Sure. Yeah, so KraneShares, we're headquartered in New York City, and we're an ETF company. We've focused on China strategies, on carbon credit strategies, emerging technology strategy, and alternatives. And KWEB is our flagship fund. It's a $9 billion fund listed on the New York Stock Exchange, and it's a focus on China Internet, Internet, e-commerce, AI, and consumer market of China. And we thought that this would be a good fund, a good strategy for the Abu Dhabi market. And we saw that there was a lot of following for KWEB. A lot of investors from the Middle East have been investing in KWEB on the New York Stock Exchange. Now that it's brought locally here, those investors can buy in the local currency here and be trading during their waking hours, you know, their market hours here. So we think that's going to be a big benefit. And then KRBN is our global carbon credit fund. There's a lot of interest here in the Middle East on sustainability, on climate investing. So we also you know, saw demand here in this marketplace, and we thought that was also a good strategy to bring into Abu Dhabi.
And Jonathan, building on what you just said, I know you spend time with regulators and institutions in both regions, and there is growing reputation that the regulatory framework of the UAE makes it easy to do business. So is that one of the many reasons you decided to launch in the UAE?
Yeah, definitely. You know, Abu Dhabi established ADGM, and a lot of the global investment firms have been setting up here. And we've been working on this listing for the last year, and it's been a great process. You know, we've you know, since its first, you know, some things had to be figured out, but we're very proud to, you know, have worked with New York Stock Exchange and Abu Dhabi Exchange and the local regulators here, SCA, to make this happen. And I have to congratulate all of those groups that have made this process very efficient, and today we celebrated with the listing.
And finally, as you mentioned, this is the very first ETF dual listing between the ADX and the NYSE. So do you see more products from KraneShares or the broader industry following this model as well?
Absolutely. So KraneShares already has a plan to bring more ETFs onto the Abu Dhabi. So we're already planning more in 2026. And I also think this will be the start of other asset managers also entering the market here. So we're happy that we could be first and make that all happen, and then I think it's paving the way for others to come too.
Well, Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us on this historic day. We'll see you back here in New York. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your insights.
Look forward. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Thanks.